Welcome, Planet Rockers. You are on the third live stream of the 2024 sessions. Isn't that exciting? So, what does that actually mean? Well, if you recall, I was doing the 2024 sessions last two streams with the guitar tracks for Split Second and then for In His Eyes. Well, guess what? Part of the process is now I got to put drums down, because before I do any other tracks like bass, vocals, melodies, all that other fun stuff, that's got to happen. The drums, basically the backbone of the whole thing. So that is what I'm going to do. But before I do that, I wanted to just play some tracks from Split Second. That's the first one I'm going to do. So it's equivalent to watching paint dry sometimes. So stay tight and enjoy. I don't know how this is going to be. This is all new to me too. But as you can see, I'm behind the drum kit. You can hear that probably. That's my bass drum, and then I got my snare. Anyways, I've mic'd everything up. I've got it going through a mixer into my HP laptop for that part. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to place the tracks right now, so you know what that's supposed to sound like, because I did the guitar tracks before. So here's what the intro sounds like. So there's no drums on this one, but I thought I'd play it anyways. And this is an instrumental. Remember, I always do an instrumental every year. This is the one this year, Split Second. Okay, so now here's where I'm going to be doing a drum fill at the end of this part. For this one, where it comes into right at the end, I'm going to do something like that. Whoa. There we go. And then there's a next part where there's going to be drums, of course, complete drums. And I've got it all written right here to tell me what I'm supposed to do. So that was done the last time, the first string that I ever did, doing those guitar tracks. Yeah, some good stuff that I can work with the harmonies and all that, right? With the drum patterns. And then here's another riff section that I'm going to be doing drums to. Probably just a crash on that one. So there we go. So let's start with that drum fill. And I don't want you guys to hear that while I'm doing it. I need it in my headphones here so I hear what the hell I'm doing. Okay, so I'm getting there. That sounds all right. So let me just put my sticks right here, because I need to do a little bit of, gotta do a little bit of editing. move that over here. Okay, so you're going to hear it right now, what it sounds like when I put the drums in. And let me just expand that. Alright, I'll have to put that down a little bit. Sometimes you got to adjust for the mic volume into the program so that you're not going past a certain level on your dB, which I'm trying to make it so that it stays within 1 and -1. For people who use Audacity, you'll know what I mean by that. For others, doesn't matter. You don't really need to pay attention to that. So, here we go. Let's hear what it sounds like. I'm going to add just a little bit at the end. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Nope. Don't need it on the speakers right now. It's me. I need to hear it because I have my headphones. Always a handy tool to have. Okay, that last part, that's going. That's not staying. Just got to open up another window. I got to figure out something here for 2 seconds. Make sure I've got it right. So let's put that over here. And so what I'm trying to do is trying to tie that into this main riff, which has harmonies and stuff with the guitars. Just trying to make sure that I'm doing that correctly and that it sounds good. And of course, my Wi-Fi sucks. My Wi-Fi is not connected. I need that so I can back up things, because I back everything up on Dropbox. So everything that's been done, well, pretty much last 3 years, 3.5 years, or 4 now, I guess, has been on Dropbox. I put everything on there so I have it as backup. Always back up your stuff. That's a key element in any kind of, it's not just for recording, but for everything else that you do, whether it's files for graphics or whatever it is you do, or any kind of file, doesn't matter what it is. Back it up, because you will be happy that you did, because if your computer crashes, and it will, you'll be happy you backed it up. I have been happy when my freaking laptop screwed up. Anyways, it's funny, but it's not funny. Just gotta check something out just to make sure I have it right. I'm trying to think, what do I do to get to the next part? Because I like what I've done so far. So let's just see here. Yeah, that's there. Okay. All right. Got to do another track underneath for this drum part that I'm trying to do. Okay, let's try that. kind of like that. So we'll see how that sounds. And then I'll play it for you guys so you hear what I mean, what I was trying to do here. And I just need my moving tool here. Just editing something here, so I let's cut that out. Yeah, I kind of like that. Put that more here. Not too much there. I'm just cutting some parts out here. I'm doing on the spot editing so I can. Okay, so here's what it sounds like, and I'm good with this. This is good now. Go down here. Just switching over so you guys can hear. Yeah, I'm good with that. All right. So, now the next part. So that's this main riff that I've got here. I'm trying to. Okay, that shouldn't be heard because you guys aren't going to hear that, but you're going to hear. And I got to put my click. Yes, I have been doing this to a click. I always work with the click right from the beginning, whether it's the guitar tracks or I'm doing pre-production on a rough guitar part. I'm picking out basically my tempo with the click right there on the spot with the tempo, so that everything is working from that part on. So that's part of my process there. Okay, so I work with 2 bars there. No. No. That might work. Okay, so I'm just trying some ideas to what I'm doing here. I am going to record it now and try it out. So I got the end part, which I'll have to work with, but I think I might just have it. Maybe not. Let's redo it. Maybe this. I'm going to try it again. So I could try this. Something to that nature. Let's try it. Stop there and work with that. So I'm going to just edit something here because I like what I just did there. Oh, okay, move this. Sometimes you want to get right to the starting point of that riff. And I think I got it. Okay, just going to try something here. Let's try this. Oh, I might just have that. I'm cutting it down shorter because I see that my riff is like there's 3 parts to the first part of the riff. So I'm going to see if I can fit something in some spaces, and you'll hear it in a sec. Yeah, I think I did a little triplet or something to that nature to make it sound a little more fuller with the drums. I think I got it. Now I'm gonna. So apparently, there are some bands and a certain producer called Mutt Lange who would do with certain bands. They would do like the bass drum, and that's it. They would just do it on certain beats, and he would just record that, and then he would record the snare on certain beats. So I kind of read that somewhere, and I thought that's not a bad idea to do the emphasis of it. So I'm just going to do that with the bass drum right now and see how that works. Okay, and then I'm going to play it for you guys in a sec here because it sounds, I think I might just have something here. Because I like the bass drum sound. And sometimes you want to get Okay, so here's what it sounds like. Because I know you haven't heard what I was hearing at this moment. You heard me playing it, but here's what it sounds. So, now you can see. Now I got to come up with something in that part, which you just heard. Probably crash at the end. Oh, I have to do a crash on one of the things. Just remember that. So I'll be doing that in a sec. But let me finish this part, and then I'm going to do that. Okay. Let's get going on this next part here. Let me just see. Just move that. Just want to. Extend one part here. Just need something here. Okay, so I'm just going to do some basic beat structure thing with the toms, the large tom right here. Okay, just got to add another track here. Because sometimes I need another track to make sure I'm all in sync with what I'm doing. Okay, let's do it again. Okay, See, I have to work in pieces because okay, and this is where I'm going to do 2 crash hits. This one and that one. So, I'll do that right now. Let's try it out. It's going to beef up the volume on one of my crash cymbals here because I can do that. I can increase it. And I'm going to just do a little fill here, which is going to go boom, 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 and you guys are going to hear that in a sec. So you will hear it. Nope. That's simple. Okay, so I'm going to get you guys to hear. I'm going to get you guys to hear that section or that particular riff. It's called, I think, riff 2. No, or maybe riff 3. No, it's called riff 1. Okay, so it's riff 1. Oh yeah, because the intros had three parts to it. Why is that? Oh, I've got it on the wrong thing. Make sure you put it on the speakers. That's it. Gotta fire my assistant. I don't have them, so there you go. No, why is it not doing that? Sorry. So that's the speakers. So that next part, without the drums, what I did in the first part is what's going to go in there. And I'm good with that. I like that. Okay. So there is a part. Okay. Bear with me for a sec. Because I got to figure out what that part. I have a crash cymbal crash in the intro, which I didn't do yet. So I don't know why I didn't do that, but. Ah, now I know why, because I think the riff comes after. Okay, and for some reason my... Oh, it's in the next part. Never mind. Okay. Now I get where I have to do it. I did have that section, but I put it further ahead so I could do that crash cymbal thing. I gotta think how many crashes. Yes. Okay. I have it now. I have the idea what I gotta put in. Ah, I got it. Okay, I'm just trying to calculate how many crashes I need and blah blah blah. Okay. Bass drum, snare, not snare. No. Bass drum and crash. There we go. Okay, I just want to hear now how my crashes sounded on the thing. And that was actually a good idea. Sometimes you're doing it on the fly and you're thinking. And sometimes you overthink it. You don't want to do that. Sometimes you come in too early, so that's why sometimes editing is okay. And sometimes the marker is a little close, but also remember, okay, so I am doing drums. I do my drums on my song, but on a live situation, you will never see Paul do drums. I will never be playing live on the drums. I am not a drummer. I understand everything about drums. I do fool around and I do record because I can do it in sections just like they do in the studio. Don't be fooled. A lot of good drummers will do it straight through, but they do also different parts and stuff, and they do a lot of editing. Don't be fooled. They do the do. There you go. That was pure English right there. So I got to do a little thing on the small tom here, or mid tom. Okay. Cymbal crash time. Okay, and I got to do one of those. Like that part. I gotta do a bass drum thing and a tom thing. I'll do that. Just wanted to put a little 8-note thing in there at the end. Kind of sounds good when you do that. Ooh, that's in it. Oh, okay, that sounds good. All right. I am going to add another track. Yes, sometimes I have 6 layers of drums, but on each of the track I have different portions of the drum or doubling it up to make it louder. I am always trying to do a separate track of bass drum just to like an oomph and an emphasis. Like that. Wasn't that fun? This is all part of recording, putting it together, you know, from infancy, like coming up with the idea and then thinking, well, how does the tempo work? How does the drum parts work? And sometimes you just got to keep fooling around with it until you get the right feel to it. Yeah, so just by adding that bass drum, look at this. By adding this bass drum, you're going to hear it in the set. It just, boom, like just makes it a little more harder, you know? Woof, it has that oomph thing. So you're going to hear it now. See that? And the bass drum just boom, hits it right in there. Okay. So that is actually something that worked really well for me. Kind of what I was thinking of, you know? Okay. Again, more crash cymbal crashes. Anyway. You want to, and it depends on what you're hitting the crashes to. In this particular case, it does work with that, you know. It works sometimes it doesn't work. It's a trial by error kind of situation on what works and doesn't work. I mean, because this is an instrumental and this isn't with melody and stuff, and the guitar tracks are very specific to, specific to the whole idea of an instrumental, right? So, it's just something you got to work with, depending on what the situation is. So I gotta. Yeah, I'm gonna play you the riff. That was hard to say. The riff that I'm gonna do drums to. Okay, the one thing about that with the riff and the drums, and I think I've got it here. Nope, it's not that one. There is one where there's a rhythm guitar and then there's the harmonies. Where is that? Okay, so sometimes you gotta find the right riff there. Okay, so there's a section where in the second part there's going to be like a rhythm guitar thing that I'm going to do, but at this moment it's just going to be the two harmonies. Okay, and to complement that is going to be with some crash cymbals with a bit of a roll at the end. So let's try that. Let's try that. Okay. The last crash cymbal. Okay, so now I'm just gonna do this. Okay, so I'm going to do a little something to that nature. Okay, that's on the end of that first part. Got to do another thing on the large tom here. There we go. Just fixing up some crash cymbals and you'll hear it. Yep, that might. That's it. Gonna add a crash cymbal over here. Just adding a couple crash cymbals here. So I'm gonna do a little do that, yeah. Okay. And that's where I'll have to, and then I'm gonna I got a silence of the track here. All right. Okay, so I'm going to do some large tom kind of pattern for this other part, and I'm almost done with this part of the song. Kind of good. I mean, it's coming together, and you're going to hear it in a sec as that whole part. So let me just get this other part done now. Okay. Okay, and I gotta finish the last part with pretty much the same thing I did in the other end of. Just doing some final editing so you guys can hear. Just finishing up the last part here. There we are. So it's a quick copy and paste at the other end. How many layers was that? 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's right here. Just gotta move this over here. All right, I have it here. So you're going to hear this whole section right now. Okay, wait a minute. I want to take the click out because you're not going to hear that in the final part. It's just for me as a guide. So you're going to hear this right now. Remember too, this is on mix too, which there's going to be some mixing and effects and all that. All right, I like it. Yeah, I love it. All right. So, oh, then I'm at the end. All right. Well, that's good. We're almost there. And then I'm going to most likely, yeah, we'll do In His Eyes. See what I can do with that. But that seems like that would that might work. All right. I got to figure out. Okay, so let's figure out what I did for the end of this whole thing. But before I do that, I gotta put it back into my headphones. I always gotta hear it through my headphones so I can hear what I'm doing. Okay. So now I just gotta get myself ready here. What the hell was that? Okay. Okay, I'm gonna do my first crash cymbal for this last part, and it's the end part, it's the ending of it, so. Okay. Nope. That's how I should have done it. Just gonna repeat something in here because that turned out good. I also like to, with the crash cymbals, I like to do it as a layer or like as a track and nothing else on that track. So I can just let it ring out. I learned that over time with the drums that we like to, I like doing that sometimes. I like to let it ring out. Now I'm going to do a cymbal thing that's a choke. So let me try that. Okay, I didn't think it was going to be that quick. Okay, now I'm ready. Sometimes the canon is always tricky because I don't always time it the way I want it. Yep, that's what I wanted. Right there. Yeah, and I'm matching it up to what I did as one more here. Sometimes I don't always have it on the mark. And I need this. Remember I do bass drums to the crashes? I'm going to do that right now. So you're going to hear that, which I like doing, because the bass sounds good this time. Okay. Okay, here we go. There you go, bass drum parts. Anyways, okay, maybe I shouldn't have too much fun with this, but I am. and you're going to hear this whole section. The drums aren't fancy on this, but they're not supposed to be in this. It's supposed to be it's not like your basic 2 and 4 beat, because that's not what it was meant to be for this instrumental. So here we go. You're going to hear the blah blah blah. You like that? The blah blah blah? You're going to hear what the ending sounds like with the drums. And of course, like I said while I was playing it the other time, this is unmixed, which means it's raw off the floor. The other thing too is we add a little bit of doubling up on some things to make it louder. EQ, add a few extra things, add some, because I got to put bass. That's the next time for the streaming, is the bass, is playing the bass to this stuff. So here we go. Here's what it sounds like. Okay, for some reason you're not hearing it. Why are you not hearing it? And why is it over there? It's not supposed to be. Here we go. Oh, because I have to expand it more. So I'm going to add a few more things drum-wise and play it again. But I just realized I wanted to put some stuff to it. That's it. That's what I want. Gotta make sure. Take that out. Okay, just gotta fix a certain part here. Okay, I'm going to do a little ride simple thing. I was just trying to make sure everything was shifted to the right place and to the right location for that. Okay, so that worked out. Okay, so now you're gonna hear the whole thing again. That I added some extra things that I thought, it kind of turned out okay actually. So here it is, hopefully. Nice touch at the end. Why not, right? There we go. So there we are. So that is it. That's for what do you call it? I even forgot the name of it. That's for split second, which I think that worked out all right. So that's in a nutshell how you do it. And then within his eyes, which is coming up in a sec here. You just got to open it up, you know. Got to open up the file and make sure my click is on. I have a bass intro in this one. So, okay, so shifting gears. Now we're going to the very first song that has vocals, that has drums, that has drums, and lots of other fun things there. And there we go. Should be good. So let's do it. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, I have a bass intro on this song, and I'm going to. I might take this off. Yeah, I'm just taking something off here. Let's just put that over here for now. Okay, that's my drum intro for the bass part that's going to happen. So let's do it. Just move it over a bit this way. And take that out. That's it. I want to do the thing at the end, the bass part. Okay, just sort of trim that a little bit. Just going to trim something here. That's it. All right. So, why not have you hear what I just did? Now, of course, this is on an acoustic guitar for the bass intro, but you'll get the idea of what the riff is and what I've done with the drums. If I can make this like this. There we go. So it's like okay. Go to the next part with the main thing. So I'll be doing drums to that in a second. So there we go. I'll be doing drums to that whole section. So this is where the hi-hat comes in. Something to that nature. Let's try. So let's try that, and then I'll put a crash at the beginning of that whole thing. Okay. Always have to add a new track here. Okay. Now, what I am going to do in this one But I was going to say, sometimes I add a layer, like I was saying with bass drums. Sometimes I add it with just a snare, because the snare is what I want to emphasize. That's the thing you're wanting to hear, right? So let me just record that. They do this in real life, in the studio sometimes, to emphasize the snare. If you don't think they don't do this, they do. How do you think they get that sound sometimes? Now, I know the drummers, like I'm not a pro drummer and I'm not a drummer, so, you know, sometimes they get them to do it with the band and everything, but I don't have a band, so I'm doing it to I also do a layer of bass drum. So let me do it. And in the editing, when I'm arranging and working with the drums, because do a crash. I'm going to do a crash right now. There we go. I'm going to do a snare fill here. Okay, and this should be here. Okay, and you remember I always do a layer of bass drum? That's what I'm doing right now. Actually, I should put it over here. Oh, I already have that. Okay, I did do that. Okay. But I have to add. And when you hear the song in all the platforms, you might hear it a little differently. You will hear things as I go. When I do the bass and the guitar solos, you'll say, "Oh, he added some things to the drums." So yes, I will be doing that. Because why not? See, it is like watching paint dry. Just trying to copy something here. There we go. Trying to make it into the looks like I might have to. I'm gonna have to actually. Okay, here we go. Okay, first thing I'm gonna do is do the snare hit. So I'm going to do a snare hit on the 2 and 4 beat. Yeah. Nope. Okay. Okay. Just realized I did something wrong here with the click. My 2 and 4 is supposed to be on a different place, which is fine. So it's not going to be the hi-hat with the snare, you know, that kind of thing. Actually, I'm going to start this over again. Let's re-record that. Let's do it again. Sometimes my guitar track is what's guiding me along with what I did in the click track. It's kind of a weird pattern, but it's going to work. Let me listen to it. And let me just fix the bass here. Okay, I'm just working out this bass drum part. Okay, so I'm going to do a snare hit, and I'm going to play it to you guys. Okay, listen to it. Okay, I think I got it. Okay, so let's hear it with the whole thing. So this would be considered riff 1. I'm going to wrap it up with you guys, and I'm going to continue working on this, and you'll hear when I do the bass what I came up with. It's pretty much the same riff throughout the song. It's a bluesy thing. It's going to have the same kind of riff pattern, pretty much the same drums. What you'll hear in the drums is pretty much what I'm going to be doing. So there we go. Okay, it's not that part. This is considered to be riff 1. I like it. Let's hear it again. All right, so yeah, that's it. I like that. That was cool. So that's it. This is with the drums for both In His Eyes and Split Second. Basically, what I've done here is pretty much what's going to be for, in the bluesy sense, it's like A to E to D and then back to E, and it's got that kind of pattern all together. So there's really not much showing you more of the drums. There's an ending, but it's like one cymbal crash. Who cares, right? But listen, thanks for checking in. Thanks for watching. All you Planet Rockers, you take care. We'll see you then. There'll be another stream for the bass parts for these 2 tunes for the 2024 sessions. Thank you so much, because remember, Planet cools. Heavy rock for the rest of us. All right, take care, guys. Here we go. Did it do it? Yeah, it did.